It's your job to create the connections that you need to thrive in life. So, how are you doing with that? And what steps can you take to enrich your connections so that you can have a more full and satisfying life? Hi, everybody. I'm Greg from Heart Tools, where we make it simple to build great relationships. And in our last video, I challenged you to do two different brainstorming sessions. The first one capturing who is it that you love, who do you really like, who do you enjoy, and the second was what are the things that you love and the things you really like and the things that you enjoy. And what we're going to do with this video is we're going to use that first session focus around the who to assess your current connections with others, and also to plot a way forward that puts you in the driver's seat in being able to create the connections that you want and need in life. Now, in one of our first videos on creating connection, we talked about how when you create connection with someone, it's helpful to think about it like a pool, and you start in on the shallow end of the pool and you move your way slowly to the deep end. And so at the beginning of relationships, there's low trust because you haven't had time to build trust. And so in those relationships, you would have lower risk self-disclosure. And then you move up to a medium risk where it's appropriate to have medium risk self-disclosure, and then high trust relationship where you can have high risk self-disclosure. And so what I would encourage you to do now is to take your list of who you love and who you really like and who you enjoy, and just evaluate each relationship in those terms. And so beside each name, just write whether this is a low trust relationship at this point, whether it's a medium trust relationship, or whether it is a high trust relationship. Now, let me be clear about a few things here. The first is, you're not evaluating the people here, you're evaluating the relationship. And so it may be the case that you have a low trust relationship with someone who's a very high trust person. You just don't know that because either the relationship is new or you haven't really had enough interactions yet to know whether you can trust them with more risky self-disclosure. So you're just evaluating where you think the relationship is at this point. The second thing is, you're evaluating where the relationship is and not where you want it to be. So you may want the relationship with this person to be high trust, and yet if you think about it, it's really not a safe relationship yet to do high risk self-disclosure. So try to evaluate where it is right now and not where you want it to be in the future. And the third thing I would suggest is evaluate where the relationship is and not where you think it should be. So you may have a relationship with someone for 20 years, or someone may be a sibling or something like that, and you think, well, boy, that should be a high trust relationship. I must be doing something wrong. No, evaluate where it is right now and not where you think it should be. And after you've done this, I would encourage you to look at your list and ask these three questions. The first question is, which relationships are you happy with being right where they're at now, right? Because the goal is not to move all your low trust, low risk relationships up the scale. We need places to go that are low risk, right? Just to have fun. We don't want every relationship in our life to be a place where we are disclosing hard, scary things. And so a lot of times, just because a relationship is a low trust and low risk relationship doesn't mean it's a bad relationship. Those can be very life-giving relationships. So which relationships are you happy with right where they're at? The second question I would invite you to ask as you look at this is, which relationships are you over-investing in? Which relationships have you been trying to make a medium trust relationship or a high trust relationship, and you've been trying to take risks in, and you realize, wow, I am way over investing in that relationship because there's not as much trust as the risk I'm trying to put into it. So you may have been kind of beating your head against the wall in trying to take a relationship. and move it to the deeper end of the pool with someone who either doesn't have the capacity or doesn't have the desire to go there with you. And then the third question is, which relationships are you interested in investing more and seeing if it's possible to move that relationship to a deeper place of connection? Now, what you may have discovered is that you really don't have a big enough pool of people, even at the low end of the pool, in order to have people that you could move into deeper connection with. And if that's the case, what I would encourage you to do to get into the driver's seat, right? Because you're responsible for creating the connection that you need to thrive in life, and you really do need some deep, committed, significant, safe, high-risk relationships in order to thrive, in order to be truly known. But if you don't have a big enough pool even to start moving up, then I would encourage you to think about some of your interests and just join groups of people who engage in that interest and begin building your pool of brand new relationships. So you may join a book club at the library, you may go to the men's or women's events at your church, you may, instead of watching your favorite team all by yourself, you may go somewhere where there's a group of people watching it. And so spend the next 6 months to a year getting into several different groups, specifically so that you can get to know enough people that you can find some people that, you know what, these are the 2 or 3 people I'd like to move forward in relationship with. And let me make a distinction here that I think is helpful between what we do at stage 1 of relationship building, which is loving well, and what we do at stage 2, which is creating connection. We talked a lot at stage 1 that our goal is to love everyone well, right? That everyone has value. And so all of those skills we practiced in stage 1, we want to do with everyone we meet. In stage 2, we become more choosy. You choose who you create connection with, right? And so it's okay not to want to create connection with someone, and you can't have 20 best friends. Now, in the same way, if you get the sense that someone else doesn't really want to invest the time and energy to create connection with you, that's okay too. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean even that they think that you're unlikable. They're also finite, and their relationship dance card may be full at this point in their life. We're going to give you a lot of specific ways to create connection with the people that you have chosen to try to create deeper connection with. But with this video, just do this practical step of kind of mapping out your current galaxy of relationships, right? How many people do you have that you love and really, really like and enjoy, kind of in the low end of the pool? How many in the medium end, and how many are kind of the high trust relationships where you can do higher risk connecting and self-disclosure with? What does that look like? And then which ones are there? That's just good right where they're at. You're happy with those relationships. Which ones do you need to maybe back off on the investment with because they're not creating the kind of connection that you want for whatever reason? And which ones do you want to explore the potential of creating deeper connection with? Do that, and that's going to set you up to be in the driver's seat to create the connection that you need to have in order to thrive in life. Simple steps, practice, practice, practice. That's what Heart Tools is all about.